Now, I gotta admit, this new season of Demon Slayer is dumb as hell, man. I thought the Infinity Castle movie was looking weird a couple episodes back, but Tengu Slayer is, I wasn't ready for that. This really is the Gintama of witches. This is Gintama 2.0, and I am having a blast. I think similar to episode 3, it's not as funny as, say, the first couple of episodes for me. Now, granted, I did see some people say that they actually thought last week was the funniest. So, humor, subjective, it's gonna depend on person to person. But I really appreciate that episodes 3 and 4 have felt a lot more story and character structure than I think the first couple of episodes made the show seem like it would be. It really did feel like it'd be a lot more like, okay, we're gonna drop references and parodies and jokes and memes. Yeah, there's an overarching plot of, oh my god, Nico ain't gonna make it, she gonna die, but for the most part, it's situational humor. And while there are gonna be moments like those, last week with the single brain cell stretched between multiple Nikos, which is very, very deadly. But this episode, despite the references, we got Yu-Gi-Oh!, which spoke to me. It's a damn shame we got like two seconds of it. I wanted to see Khan send Moy to the Shadow Realm. But in general, they did a great job with the characters. And for hearing so many people say, oh, Khan's one of my favorite characters, you're going to love him. I hear that a lot, and it's kind of 50-50 if I agree with the overall consensus when a character doesn't really give the most positive first impression. Not that he was, like, infuriating, he just had a very strong personality last week that made me say, I usually don't like these characters. And while I'm not going to say, oh my god, this is the character I'm looking forward to the most right now, surprisingly a lot better than I think the intro few seconds and honestly most of this episode made his character out to be. And to be honest, I do look forward to seeing more of their shenanigans and how, they're not really friends, but at least maybe we're closer to frenemies, if anything. And to be honest, while Demon Slayer is definitely looking a lot different than I thought it was going to when it would return, I'm enjoying this version of Demon Slayer. Of course, I got those full live reactions over on Patreon. You want to support my work, see my full thoughts over there exclusively. Now, I don't watch previews of shows that I'm already watching. Like, yeah, I'll watch a trailer if it's like something that's yet to come out and I don't know if I want to watch more. So apparently there was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Reference in last week's trailer. I was like, I don't know, maybe. So I wasn't really sure like what we were going to get in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh! To be honest, I completely forgot about it until the end of the episode. And to be honest, it is a little disappointing that probably the reference that would have spoke to me the most had like the smallest amount of time, but maybe next week we'll kickstart and they're still dueling. I don't know, like there's so many ways. Like I'm thinking of, it would have been so funny if they would have went like super classic with it in the very first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. When they're in Duelist Kingdom, they are Bakura. They were dueling with Bakura and he, his Millennium Ring was doing some weird shenanigans. The characters like souls were like as the cards. I was hoping for something like that. Like that's how far I wanted to see the joke go. But hey, at least they got the back of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards right. If you really focus in, you can tell they actually detailed them like real Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Whether or not it was actually cards that they just kind of like, pixelated a bit, I don't know. But either way, I like that reference. And honestly, the Tengu Slayer, like the fact that you use not just like a name drop like Demon Slayer just for like a random joke. The fact that we're going like, hey, ogres and the Tengu, like, they hate each other, right? And it's like, when I was reading Demon Slayer, why couldn't it be Tengu? And I'm just like, okay. This is why the humor in this show works for me so much, is that I'll see things, and I'm not sure if they're gonna go parody or reference with it. And even if they don't, it still makes me laugh. But then, like, when they, like, just straight up name drop, and they just go the extra mile, rather than just saying, oh my god, like, this isn't a Family Guy joke where it's just like, hey, remember Demon Slayer? And then record scratch and Peter looks like he's, Tanjiro. No, like they actually intelligently write this stuff and it just works so well. I wasn't sure, and I'm still not sure, but initially when I saw Nico like get like consumed by her dress, right? I'm like, are they going for a Kill la Kill reference? I was like, okay, this could go Kill la Kill. And while they never directly say it, it just kind of reminds me of Kill la Kill. So in my soul, I'm going to think it was a Kill la Kill reference, and that just brings me great joy. I do almost wonder, though, so she got a box of her clothes, right? And then the clothes obviously do what they do. I almost wonder if the mom did that shit on purpose because she knew damn well these two would not get along, and that in order to protect her daughter, we need to make sure we have as many bodyguards as possible. I don't know, like that's kind of where my mind was at. But either way, they almost went real sus for a moment, and I was okay with it. But I was so happy to realize that the whole friendship sharing food thing didn't go sexual, because moments later, it then attaches to children. And I was like, thank God it was just they wanted to put each other's arms around the shoulders. Because when our boy like pins him against the wall, I'm like, damn, you know damn well she ain't gonna stop this. She's gonna get her camera and just, you know, enjoy the show. Turns out wasn't actually an I love you scene. It was like, no, like you're gonna be my friend and I'm going to wrap my arm around you and you're gonna like it, damn it. And I'm like, okay then. And then the fact that this series of, this is why this girl should never use magic. A single spell that worked seemingly for what was intended, even if it was a little extreme. Her spell was fine. The issue is that because she enchanted a box of Pocky or whatever the hell it was, the fact that you can then, because Moi eats it first, Khan eats it second. So therefore, that's the link. But then because it gets dropped, the kid who eats it then is connected to Khan, and then the next kid connected to that kid, and then the dog connected to that kid, and you just see them all. I'm like, what are we watching here? This girl should be banned from magic ASAP. And despite the humor, despite the ridiculous and slapstick comedy shenanigans, you legitimately did build characterization with these three. And I think it would have been foolish if you just immediately made them feel like they were best friends. But I think because they worked together with this Dora the Explorer umbrella, like it looked like the map from Dora the Explorer but on an umbrella, and the fact that they Mary Poppins his way up into it to punch he punches her clean off. It's probably a good thing she had a bra when she initially put on the dress, because otherwise I think there would have been hell to pay, not just from her but from Khan as well. Either way, they established someone who I thought was going to be nothing but a very boring love triangle edition who would be very annoying. Turns out he's just great at making friends. The whole damn town loves him. And honestly, his addition to this group is pretty fun. He's a goddamn leech. He wastes all his money on boring bullshit, and because of that, he can't afford a place. So now he's going to crash with us, because of course he is, because that's how anime is, damn it. Such a fun episode. Such a fun show in general. I really thought this show would be a lot more shallow than it's turned out to be if I'm just going off of the first couple of episodes. Despite how much I loved and laughed at episode 2 specifically, I thought it was going to be a lot less structured with characters, and that's why I really like episodes 3 and 4. They may not have made me laugh as much as the first 2 episodes, but I think they've impressed me more than the first 2 episodes because I actually feel like we're writing a story and characters rather than just here's the reference of the week. Those are funny, I want more, but the show's definitely deeper than just that. Of course, you let me know your feelings though down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we got Darian Smith, Rajver Mullins, Diedrich Savon, Davlin, Sweet Ray 21, Furno 19, Pixcalibur, Sign, and we also have Ashlith. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. You all have a good one.